ToonGrin.com.
Hey there, everybody. It's Nero and Whyboy. Got another trailer. A lot of them dropped.
Yep, it's the San Diego Comic-Con, and they've just been announcing all these new cartoons. Okay. Invader Zim.
That's not new.
Well, they're doing the new movie and such. I'm saying that they are announcing new things.
Oh, okay.
They're starting to do a lead-in because they're now showing the actual trailer for Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Because even though the other show just finished,
they gotta make a new one.
Oh yeah, well now Nickelodeon gets it, where it's like we need a series we can milk constantly with like Transformers. Yeah. Transformers is constantly being rebooted and having toy lines. Yeah. So now Nickelodeon's like, well, we need to do that. Well, you got Ninja Turtles. They bought the rights.
Well, they've been basically doing that for so long with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like, just from the 2003 show, they went that to fast forward to basically the new show and all that, and then now onto this now. That's still like 4 different shows and just like...
Fast forward is considered part of the 2003 one. It's not considered new. Yeah. It's considered part of the canon. It is.
Yeah, I know.
And so is Back to the Sewers. I know, because the art direction from Back to the Sewers changes so dramatically, and it's like really ugly.
I consider both those like 2 different sort of shows, because they basically...
But you're wrong, because it's not different shows. It's the same actors, the same production team. Yeah. So it's all the same garbage, Whyboy. I'm sorry.
It's so bad.
Yeah, but...
They were terrible ideas in those shows.
That's true, they were. Anyways, we're going to take a look at Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or as I like to call it, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Go. So, we're going to watch this and see... And 3, 2, 1, and play.
4, 3.
Stop counting down.
1.
You are about to be part of an experiment that will change the very nature of humanity. This can't be good.
This represents a new level of mutant ability.
Let's play! Unleash the flavor. Capture those specimens.
So, you guys from Jersey?
Someday you will be great ninjas. Time to put our training to use.
God, Splinter, get beer.
You've been training?
It's go time.
We're getting nowhere fighting these guys.
Hey, yo! How about we take the glowy ones?
Okay, guys. This is our moment.
Let's go out and bust some bad guys.
We're gonna be heroes.
Smash and dash. Let's do it.
Ah, boy.
Oh, cool.
Oh, and it comes with a sneak peek as well.
Okay.
I wanted to see that. Oh, just from what I just saw so far. It's looking a little bit better than what I thought it was going to be.
Yellow submarine, are we clear?
Affirmative, Red Rover.
Copy. Right, boys, it's go time.
Cow! Slap! Bunga! Cannonball!
Ha! You must be this rad to ride that ride.
Based on our velocity and entry angle, I concur.
You guys crushed it. Give me 5 or 3.
Couldn't have done it without you, April. Our girl with the plan.
And keys to the roof.
Let's go bungee dunk on the hoops at Rucker Park.
Game on. Just one thing first. Wet floor and dry cool. My work is done here.
Nope, hate it. Nope, hate it.
Hate it?
They like that to me just reeks of the Teen Titans Go thing, where it's like, oh, they're gonna be like superheroes, and then like Teen Titans Go always does that purposely subversion of like, we're not superheroes, we don't do that stuff, and it's
yeah,
like,
and I was looking at the trailer portion of that, and I was just like, oh wow, they have like all those really neat camera angles and all that sort of stuff. There was actually impact to the fight scenes and all that, and the sneak peek is them just going like butt monkeys.
yeah.
Oh god.
Also, and people are gonna just slam this in the comments, but it's like, I hate where the differences are, and it's not because I want them to do the exact same thing over and over, but to me there's something about the Turtles that there's a formula you follow. You know, play with the tropes that exist already. Leo being the leader that takes himself too seriously, Mikey being the goof-off, Raph being grumpy, Donnie being the nerd. Play with those tropes. Instead, from the sneak peek we saw, none of them act like the personality that is associated with the character. They all have the same personality, which is like party animal.
Yeah.
Which is the same problem that Teen Titans Go has, where it's like, you have these you have these 5 unique personalities that you can work well with each other, and then you change them all.
Yeah, it seems very weird because from the teaser, I see more of their individual personalities, but just their sneak peek is just all woo. It's just very disappointing.
Like, art direction that's all a matter of opinion.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't mind Raph being the biggest, but I think like the spikes on his elbows, I think the spikes on his shell, I think that looks dumb.
Personally, for me, just after just seeing like that initial like character designs and all that, and just moving it from here, I feel there's definitely improvement in how they move and all that, because it's definitely like the angling and all that definitely feels a lot more dynamic than what Teen Titans Go would anywhere offer.
I'll give you that. Like the coloring palette, the shading, it looks like visually it would be of a higher quality than how Teen Titans Go is animated and, you know, colored. That said, the writing seems exactly the same. Like there's no difference.
If the show moved away from that, though, I definitely think this could have a much better chance.
Oh, I don't see why not, because even when the 2012 show was coming out, they did a movie tie-in where they did a animated special. I think it was like 45 minutes.
Right.
And it was made for like really little kids. So all the characters were like really chibi.
Yeah.
And it's a comedy.
Right.
It's strictly a comedy first, instead of having any drama, and it's wonderful. It was so charming and quirky and cute and fun, but all the personalities were still 100% in line.
Yeah.
You know, Leo takes himself too seriously, Donnie's a nerd, Raph is grumpy but has a heart of gold, and Mikey is a goof-off.
Yeah.
In this one, everybody's the goof-off. It went to Teen Titans territory where it doesn't understand how the formula of comedy works.
Yeah, like if I was gonna like rewrite in all that, I would still do the cannonball sort of stuff, but I had the pool right next to where the guys are basically doing their dirty dealings and all that. Then it would splash and just like, wait, what's going on? And
Why don't they just cannonball where the villains are?
Yeah.
Like they cannonball and they're all happy about the cannonball, and then all the villains surround them. They're like, "Oh, we didn't even notice."
Okay.
Okay, I guess we're doing this next, and then they get ready for a fight.
Or if you want to do it, they do it intentionally. They just do that. So like, what's going on? Then they snatch the briefcase, beat them all up, and then that would be more Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because that's also being superheroes as well as just being goofballs.
I think it's a missed opportunity. Right out of the gate, I did hear they're not using the Shredder.
Yeah.
Like I heard they're going to use the Foot Clan for the new bad guy in here, but they're not going to use the Shredder.
Yeah.
Which to me is a missed opportunity, because you could have done a comedy version of the Shredder, you know, where he's a fun villain like Lord Boxman, or kind of like Pete from like Mickey Mouse or something like that.
Or
where
just way back into like one of the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where he's just all whiny bitch.
Yeah, like if you wanted to make him like a comical whiner, where he's just like, you know, always complaining to Krang. Like that could be really. You could have. Oh, you know what? If it was like Feldrake.
Yeah.
And Shelled Goose from The Legend of the Three Caballeros.
Yeah.
Like, that would be a lot of fun. The point is, a show like this is not hard or difficult to make or write. The problem that I'm seeing with these... And, yeah, okay, problem is probably not the right word, but my criticism for these kinds of shows comes down to, it feels like that nobody understands the formula of comedy. When they all have, like, the same basic personality, it's not funny. It's just chatter, and that's all it is. You need to have them be distinct.
Yeah, there is definitely just sort of that subjective sort of thing where you just say, like, if people like that sort of chatter comedy, then that's completely fine. But when we're more just saying it's just our own individual writers, this is basically just how we view comedy. Comedy works best when they're all four dynamic personalities basically just bounce off each other.
Yeah, it's not even just four though, but like in general.
Well, I'm saying that this is four dynamic.
Like bouncing off of each other, because otherwise it all just, instead of being four distinct voices, it just melds together and becomes like a clump.
Yeah, because the four voices are supposed to be the comedic conflict, as supposed to make us laugh and engage into the plot lines and such. When they're all the same, we have nothing to basically conflict with.
Well, there's like no way to do humor. Like, if you don't have a straight man, what's the humor to be coming from? Because everybody's like doing the same thing. Like,
right.
It's why I think Justice League Action works, because like, here's Superman. Okay, Superman's normally a Boy Scout. We play it up so he's like really nice and he's really kind. You know, Wonder Woman is ready to scrap but is also very compassionate. We play that up. Batman takes himself too seriously, and it works. It works great for these characters to interact with each other because they're all distinct, different personalities. This, everyone felt the same. Nobody felt different. I mean, the closest was maybe Donnie pressing a thing on his wrist, and it's like, oh, nerd.
We rad.
Yeah, like, but then right away he stopped being Donatello and he went back into the hive mind.
Yeah.
Personality of all the other characters. And people are going to probably get on me about this. I don't like that they race-bent April. They could have just created a new friend for them. They didn't have to take a pre-existing character and make her black.
Yeah.
To me, it's just annoying.
It definitely feels just sort of like a stretch to basically be more like racially diverse and all that, when you could just do the same thing but just having a new black friend.
Yeah, there's no reason why they couldn't have a friend that just happened to be black. It didn't need to be April O'Neil. I know people like to think April O'Neil is important to the Ninja Turtles. She's really not. I've seen and read and watched enough shows. Yeah. She's basically, 9 times out of 10, she's like a MacGuffin.
Yeah, like the April O'Neil of the team, it's basically just sort of the human member that's basically just the straight man to all the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles craziness. That's the purpose of April O'Neil.
Yeah, she's like the audience surrogate, because she's like taking you into this world of mutants and monsters.
She has to ask the questions and all, like, what is going on here? What are you guys?
Yeah, and for this kind of show, that's probably not remotely relevant. They're probably not. Even if they do the backstory for the Turtles in this, it'll probably be like.
Well, there's still purpose to them, because then you have all these crazy mutants come in and April just gonna be like, oh, what's going on with this? And then they'll be able to exposit it much more naturally like that.
I feel like they also missed an opportunity in one of the best things about Ninja Turtles, as a personal opinion, is the reimagining of the iconography. Like, oh, what would Bebop and Rocksteady be like here? What would the Shredder be like here? What would Krang be like here? Baxter Stockman, characters like that. And in this one, I guess. It looks like they got rid of all of them. It looks like they got rid of the Shredder. They got rid of Bebop and Rocksteady, and like that already has me like.
Yeah, I do feel there is sort of an argument to be said. Like if you want to do something more new, then you basically take that sort of step away and all that. And I do admire the creators for doing something like that, but definitely they are edging on very dangerous territory where it is more like Teen Titans Go formula and all that.
Well, like that's the thing. In Teen Titans Go, almost makes no use of their rogues gallery whatsoever, and the part of the charm of the Turtles, and it's the same thing that's part of the charm with the Titans, is like they're superheroes that are teenagers, and they go out and they fight, these monsters or adult supervillains, and there's comedy that ensues along with the actions of what's happening. And then if you watch like Teen Titans Go, and you and I watched a lot of it, and they barely use supervillains at all. And matter of fact, half the time the Titans are just fighting with each other as opposed to ever actually going out and confronting a rogue of some kind. And I hate the idea of like, oh, they're going to do this over here, when it's like the Ninja Turtles have a huge, massive rogues gallery of different mutants and monsters and aliens and other dimensional entities that they could be going into conflict with, and instead you're going to forego that just to have them bicker with each other, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then when they're... I'm also, because it's only a sneak preview, we don't have too much we can gauge with it, but I don't want it to be like where Teen Titans Go ends up in territory where it's like, oh, here's Cyborg in this scene. But now all of a sudden, because the joke needs to make sense or change, now he's going to act like this in this scene, which is completely different than how we actually established him in this scene. So the personality completely does like a 180 in order for the gag to work. And then it stops being funny to me, because that's not how the rule of comedy doesn't work.
Right.
You know, you wouldn't do Bugs Bunny versus Daffy Duck and dramatically change Bugs Bunny's personality just to fit a joke.
Right.
Because then it ruins the whole point of like Bugs being the cool, suave, straight man to Daffy's wacky, hyperactive personality.
So, Right.
Like
Exactly.
there's a rule to comedy, and I know people are going to make the argument where it's like comedy's subjective. 100%, it is subjective, but there are also there's structure. Just like anything, it's like ingredient. Like, look, you can make a cake technically any way you want, but there are basic rules and principles to making a cake. You still have to reside to follow for it to still be a cake.
Exactly.
Same principle.
Yeah. So just bottom line, I'm more nervous about this because there are just some things that are just more at its core that are just basically all over the place. Like, I'm feeling much more confident with the art style and such, because it feels like the animators do understand basically dynamic, motion, flow, all that sort of stuff. It's just, the actual core of the writing feels like it's just going to be the major sticking point.
I'm going to watch it, alright?
Yeah.
I watched the 80s one. I watched the 2003 one, including Fast Forward and Back to the Sewer and all that crap.
Yeah.
I watched the 2012 show. I watched the kid-friendly tie-in to the 2012 show, which I thought was amazing.
Yeah.
I will watch this. I watched all the live-action films, well, except for the first Michael Bay one. I refused to watch that crap because I read the leaked script for it and it sounded bloody awful.
Yeah.
I watched the 2007 animated film and I loved it. I will watch this. I love the Ninja Turtles. I will give it a shot. But I gotta tell you, you're not giving me confidence. You're not giving me any confidence with this whatsoever. So I'm gonna go in there with zero expectation. Not negative expectation where like I'm expecting to be bad. But I'm going in there with show me what you can do for 11 minutes.
Yep.
I'll give you that.
Yep.
That's all I can.
To see. But with that said, thank you for watching, guys. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Tell us what you think of Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Are you more
in general?
Yeah. Are you more excited for the rise of them, or do you feel that it's just going to flop? And just
it won't. It probably won't flop, dude. It's a Ninja Turtle. Like little kids are going to eat this up like candy.
Yeah. And we'll just have to see, because you never know. That's what we said about like Be Cool Scooby Doo. That flapped hard.
That's a shame because that show actually turned out to be hilarious. It's great. That's another show that does meta humor really well, and it knew how to use the tropes to their strength to being funny.
Yep. Exactly. We'll just see if Rise can actually do anything similar to that.
Alright guys, so like, subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell.
And as always, be sure to tune in
to ToonGrin.